plenty of things we can do to not only to keep from draining our energy, but to add our energy, build it up. We can go out and do fun things and enjoy things that make us happy, and when we do stuff like that, we're actually re-energizing ourselves. Anything that we enjoy doing, when you do that, you put yourself into an elevated state where your mind is more focused on positive, good, beautiful things, as opposed to negativity, complaining, and just seeing all the bad things. A lot of our environment has to do with how we feel. I don't know why we settle. I've done it. We settle for things that are less than. I guess it's for our growth. But coming to a place of realizing, to me, my sanity and my quality and value of my life, my happiness and my everyday life is much more important to me than a relationship. It doesn't mean I don't love people, it's just sometimes I can't be around them. Why subject yourself to that? About, kind of the pearl and the oyster thing, the irritants, and over a period of time, marriage is like a oyster shell and the pearl, and it starts out as an irritant. A piece of sand is in there, and it's an irritant. Constantly the oyster is producing whatever it produces, what the pearl is made of, but it's producing that. To soften the effect of the irritation. And then after years and years, you have your pearl, a beautiful gem, a beautiful, beautiful, expensive, valuable stone. Without the irritation, friction, it never would have been produced. So we're like that as we evolve and change. Once we realize things, you can't go back to living a certain way and living and tolerating and putting up with things you used to. Your system evolves, and your cells even change, your DNA, everything evolves and changes, transforms and elevates, and once it does, you can't go back to the places and the things and the people and the attitudes and that created the beautiful gem you now are. The life that it produced in you is valuable, worth so much. It's a gift. And it's beautiful, just like the pearl. Remember that when you're being irritated and trying to learn to accept some stuff, but you don't have to accept abuse or things that are no longer healthy. They may serve us for a while as the irritant to create the beauty of our hearts and our souls, and to bring that, bring us into full authenticity, who we truly are on this earth. But once it has served its purpose as the irritant and you are the pearl, you don't have to. If you try to stay in those places, you just don't fit anymore. You literally have outgrown those places. And it's a good thing, because change is good. Change is a really good thing. I love change. I've been pulled out of some situations that were painful because I didn't want to let go. Change has always been invigorating for me, and twice a year. I'm raising, you know, my family and my daughter, my husband, and I would do my spring and fall cleaning. In the spring, I would change the living room a certain way, and the bedrooms too, you know, when I felt like it. In the fall too, as many different ways as I could find to arrange it differently, I did. You'd walk in the house, and it was so refreshing. It was not the same old, and I've always liked that. The change is so refreshing. It was invigorating for your soul. It uplifted me, it was fun to do it. I still do that. I have my little living room, and I change my stuff around several times a year. I live alone, so I can do it when I want. It's creative and refreshing. Don't be so stuck on holding on to things that are not making you happy. I know it's hard. We feel like we're letting people down if we need to make, really big, heavy decision changes like relationships. We feel like we're letting people down, and that can be difficult. But see it for what it is. If you're not getting what you need, and I just mean healthy conversation and care and respect from that person, once that friction and irritation has caused you to evolve and grow and become more beautiful. If you need to make a change and you're contemplating it and you just need an extra little nudge, then I nudge you. Where you're going is more beautiful than any place you've ever seen or been. Life is amazing. Travel, see the sights, the adventures, keep your eyes open, keep your heart open, keep your soul open, and evolve. It's just the ultimate. As we're raised, we are conditioned, type of a conditioning where we, as children, go further and further from who we were born to be. As we're, children, we're just born and we're who we are, and we think the way we think, and then as we grow and people condition us to think a different way, what's comfortable for us or what's pure and innocent or real or genuine, people condition us to be less authentic. They mean well, so it doesn't have to be a horrible home with parents that don't provide for you. They can provide very, very well for you. You could have everything that you wanted material-wise. They could be controlling or smothering, or they could be the opposite end of the spectrum, which is neglect. You just don't get the time and attention from your parents, and which behavioral issues are created to get attention and not good things. And then that carries on into our adult life. It's conditioning, it's environmental. We become further and further from who we were born and created to be, unknowingly. And then we go through life and we can't figure out why we can't have a healthy relationship. We don't get it. Those are the things we need to start picking apart and unlearning. Patterns and behaviors of conditioning in our upbringing. Nobody has a perfect life. Every single one of us is influenced in a negative or positive way at many different points in our life. It's nothing to be ashamed of or to be sad about. It's the healing process. We start uncovering the things that we've learned about ourselves that make our life not as quality. And it could be simple. It has nothing to do with how much money people have as we grow and change and evolve into adults, and we don't have the tools to have a healthy relationship. We want to, we don't get it until we start digging deep within ourselves and mustering up the courage to work on ourselves. It's not putting yourself down. It's saying, oh, this is not working. I see this because I see other people acting that way. And I see their results. I see how it drives people away. The sabotaging all the good things because you don't think you deserve them. We need to break those patterns because we're all capable and worthy of living a really abundant life in love, in financial things that you know where they come from. They come from a source or from a good place of love, and I'm talking the highest love of our Creator. That conditioning has affected us on a very, very deep level of our psyche, our mind, our heart, our being, even our well-being is affected by thought patterns of conditioning. That's why we don't want to hold people responsible for our experiences, because at that time they were doing the best they could with what they were taught and what they knew, and to the extent they had evolved. Everybody makes mistakes. I am not the person that I was when I raised my daughter. God love her. I mean, I was a good mother. We provided all the basic needs and stuff emotionally. I had so many issues, not only because of my upbringing, but also because of what I stepped into for a relationship, which was a learning experience. Pearl, it was what I needed to gain better perspective and perception of what life, love, and relationships, and what I was about. Peeling off those layers, the layers and layers and layers of crud that is accumulated. But it's all part of the purpose and the plan. It's all happened for a reason, so we can come back to ourselves and love ourselves fully, unconditionally, flaws and all, imperfections and all, mistakes and all. It's all part of evolving and growing, where we can become innocent again. You can become innocent as an adult, open and vulnerable and trusting, and you don't have to be bitter from all the stuff that's happened to you. If you harden your heart, you're going to stay in a very bitter, negative state. You don't want that. You want to evolve and be free. There's freedom in coming to grips and terms with all your experiences and things that have been done to you, even the abuse. Did we like it? No, nobody likes it. Did we like things that we said hurt people? No, we didn't know any better at the time. As we learn and change and grow and get to a point where we understand the impact of our actions and words on people, that they were uncalled for and mean, whether it was a reaction or retaliation or revenge, or it's all stuff that as we see it and uncover it, it's like, well, if I don't want somebody to do that to me, why did I do that to somebody else? For one thing, we don't know how to deal with our emotions. We have emotions, and we do not know how to deal. Grief, unresolved grief, can cause major issues in our attitudes and behaviors towards other people. Resentment, frustration. It doesn't make anybody a bad person. They just aren't educated enough to know how to deal with those emotions, and that is a big problem in our society, of all races and all countries and all languages. There's a barrier, a big barrier. We need to break through that and become ourselves and come together and love one another, and just in simplicity and trust and love. That is what this journey is about. It is about nothing else. Basically, that is the cake, and all the extras are the icing and the sprinkles and all the extra things that make it better. But the cake is love, a basis of love within yourself, to take care of yourself and respect yourself. As that carries out into the world, the reflection of the ripple, the small pebble that gets tossed into the lake, the quiet, still lake, and those ripples go all the way across the lake and touch the other side of the shore. That's what we want to do, in a good way, not in a harmful way.